Okay. All right. I think that's it. Let me fix this. Because I'll put this up a little bit bigger. Oh, okay. All right. All right. Okay. So, as you know, I got most of the V2s are in, except for 3 that are missing. If you've been following the escapades of all the V2s, um, so I got pretty much all 30 in, or 30, 27 in, and a bunch of car parts. But that's neither here nor there. So today we're just going to go ahead and do maybe an unboxing and showing you the unit, right? So I'll go grab one real quick. Let me open my garage. Okay. So I do have one unit open, but it's kind of a mess. So let's just grab a box and get that over with. Let me just move this thing around. Okay. You turn the camera on. Alright, so it comes in a little box like this. Oh, so fancy. Fresh off the boat, right? Let me go back to the stage. Let me close my... You don't see my ugly mug. Alright. Here it is in all its glory. So let's open this up. The new and, I guess, improved V2. The plan is for me to actually roast with the stock controller, because I've never roasted with the V1 stock controller. This is going to be all new to me. So, thousands of unboxings. You can probably see online or whatever, but I think I did this upside down. I did. Alright. Never opened it this way. We're already off to a good start. Pull this unit out. Actually, I'll pull this out. So this is the filter box fan. Useless. Throw that away. And then I'll pull this out. And here's the V2 on its head. Flip it over. Oh crap, where'd my mic go? I dropped my mic somewhere. Oh, there it is. Okay. The better. Okay, yeah, I think that's better. All right, so pulled everything out. I'm guessing this is where the controller is at, and you got your control panel frame and the chimney pipe, and the instructions. So be good and read your instructions first, you know. You'll find out it's actually called the Delta. They want, two different companies, they want you to either call it the Delta or the Cyber Roaster. Both are equally stupid names, so we're just going to go ahead and call it Skywalker, okay? Skywalker V2. Makes life a little bit simpler. My camera died. Hold on. Ay, ay, ay. Fuck. One nine. Okay, guess so. Okay. All right. So of course we got our little control panel, or tablet actually. All right. Got your little control panel. I guess in this box it has a little like tablet holder. There it is. You got this piece of metal to hold your tablet. Okay. Fancy. And then you got your piece of chimney. So, let's go ahead. Let's put it together. Those are two of the biggest pieces, okay? Ta-da! So all the group buy ones, I requested that they don't put their logo on it, the iTop logo, just because it's ugly. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of the iTop logo, or just anything with that many logos. So we got it kind of like this set up. I know the other ones have Precisions because I usually get them from Precision, but this one I just asked just to remove the logo. So if you get it on iTop, though, you're more than likely going to get their logo. So, yep, you got your trier. That's the name of these things, if everyone ever wondered. So you could try out your beans, right? And then you got the chute. These are two of the biggest ones. Then you have these extra stuff. Little scoop for the beans, long spoon, and then a brush for cleanup, okay? So, I'm not gonna lie, this is basically a V1, okay? Cam, I didn't print the V2 funnel because my bigger printer is being stupid and just can't print. It can't lay down a layer on the ABS for some reason. I gotta set the Z height, but I'm gonna do it. It sucks because it like failed twice last night, and it's not your print or anything. It's just my Oh no, I have it's like 400 by 400 by 400. It's the Magneto X, but it's just not as reliable as my Prusa or my Voron printers. So I'll get there eventually. But I'm gonna print it out today. I should probably print it on the Prusa and PLA. There's also one in PETG. I just don't like the shine of PETG. PETG shine looks kind of gross to me, but I might print out in PETG just to get it over with. Yeah, I think PLA is fine. It was a little bit like soft when I did the first funnel in PLA, but you know, you just don't leave it in there the whole time. You just drop it in when you have to. But let me get back to this V2. So, you know, basically everything, it has a new, well, let me show you the differences. I know I got a V1 somewhere around here. Okay, so we got the V1 and the V2. You can pretty much tell the difference because this is different and this is different. Just the fascia, the front panel. So, you know, I know the other places they're talking about how he could feel the quality and difference. Sure, I guess, yeah. There might be a quality. I mean, this might feel better, more sturdy, because of stainless steel or whatever you want to think. But it's the same roaster, I think. Yeah, I don't know. Weight-wise, it feels pretty much almost the same. Maybe this is a little bit heavier. So basically, the two biggest difference are this one has a like PID control for all those people that are really interested in auto roasting. And this one also has a new drum, which I'm very excited to talk to you about it because I find it so fucking hilarious. But we'll go talk about that later. I'll open up the back and I'll show you what's kind of going on in there, right? Cooler material. Okay. Sorry, I'm reading Cam's chat. You guys could chat in the cupping chat too. If you have any questions or you want to ask anything, you want to see anything, I'll definitely, if you have any questions. I feel like I'm just going to dole on about the two differences. But yeah, so so far the two biggest difference between this is just the front panel, the drum motor. The controller board is a lot different. I really like the new controller board they put in this one because the way it handles the protocols now, like instead of us having to hack our way with an Arduino to like reverse engineer whatever the code going back from the roaster to the control panel, they literally just have one port in the back, which is this port. You'll notice that there's, compared to a V1, there is two USB ports. So one is to the control panel, and the top one is literally just to the computer. So I hook mine up with the USB cable to USB-C to my laptop. Some laptops kind of have driver issues, so they did send me like the drivers to install if you do have that issue. Do you think the V2 can be modded to add the black V1 front? Yeah. Fuck it, we'll do that next. We'll do that next, I promise. But I'll just go over this stuff here. So main differences. This is the really nice part, I think, is the controller literally spits out modified TC4 protocol. So, you know, or the standard protocol that, you know, the open source Artisan uses is a TC4, but it's just modified. So that might be really easy for people who want to make their own like simple program to record their roasts instead of having to rely on like the bulkiness of Artisan or something like that. You can make like a simple app or script to just send the commands to how the roaster works, just however it's listed under the TC4 protocol. So yeah, you still have that filter box thing. Useless. You could use that to fan the power a 24-volt fan. And then also the only thing that kind of sucks is that this is 3.3 logic on the top, and then that's 5 volt. 3.3 on the top and 5 volt at the bottom. So kind of sucks because you can't plug in an Arduino ESP32 right in there and convert things from like that protocol to work with over BLE, like a little ESP32 module into here. You would have to like plug it in here and then plug another session here to get the power, but you know, that might suck. Let's look at the back. All right. So here are the back of the roasters. You noticing anything different? Well, other than this obviously big bump that we'll get to later. This will be kind of interesting. Because we'll talk about it later. And then you also have what I'm calling the juice diverter. Because, you know, everyone's been having that issue where it's been leaking from the panel here down and going into the control panel. But look how these fins are, like, look how these openings are now compared to this one. I'll take this off of my... So this is the V1. So you could tell like the coffee juices will just literally go into each slot, right? Or this one, it kind of goes in a downward direction because it's not like cupping it inside. It's actually, you know, making the water or whatever juices go downwards. And then it also makes this little diverter to prevent it from from shooting liquid into the control area after the control pad or control board and whatever. So those are kind of the main differences. I honestly think that the person at the manufacturing side fucked up on this because there's absolutely no sense why you would want those vents upwards like that. You'd probably want them downwards like this, right? Because this one's going in an upward direction, things could go inside, or this one is downwards. I think there might have been like something at the factory that happened, but that's all just speculation. But you know, the level of jankiness is awesome with this roaster. That's why it's my favorite. But yeah, it's basically the same setup. You still have all 20 or so screws in the back that you have to pull off, where you literally only need like 2, 4, 6, maybe like 8 screws to really hold this thing down in there. All this is kind of... The amount of screws to screw the back panel in is kind of ridiculous. It's like 27 or 20 of these little M4 screws right here and here. Same thing here. They actually added more screws to hold in the new fan that they put in. Oh, that's another big thing too. Instead of what we've been doing with the V1 by putting a fan inside, they put a fan outside, like right into the control box. This goes directly straight into the right to the heatsink of the coffin, which has air circulation, which we recommended months ago. So I know they say they're not listening to us, but they're definitely taking some of our ideas from the community. I say the community because I think the original person who talked about putting a fan back there was from the Home Roasters forum. So that's pretty much it. And this, you know, the same. This side is about the same. Nothing really different. So they still haven't added another safety feature we wanted, was like a switch for the bulb. So if you do have thermal runaway or anything crazy happen, you can at least hit an e-stop or something, but that's okay. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna plug this in. So this one goes at the bottom. This goes to the control panel. The bottom USB is the control panel. I'll plug this in. You can hear the fans running in the back. R&D. They're not stealing. We told them about that issue too. And Joan said it's not a real problem. We're just kind of making it up. So, shout out to Joan from Akimata. All right, so I plugged it in, and it is in a language that I do not understand. So they set it up in Chinese first. So I'm gonna hit this, and then I'm gonna hit this one. Now it's in English. Okay. Hey, they fixed it. Okay, so some of the tablets have an older version on it, where it says manual mode. See, so now it says manual mode, and the initial one said stay by. So yeah, they fixed some of the UI stuff. So, kudos. All right, so let's go back. All right, here is the main graph and everything that you need to roast. Preheat, inject, like I guess that's drop, and that's no, that's charge and that's drop. Actually, I don't know, but so preheat, hit start, turns everything on. You hear that? There's a bean in there. They pre-season these for you, right? So yeah, they actually do put beans in there to make everything. They do roast the batch. Yeah, Manuel and edge set. Yeah. You're a trendsetter, Cam. They owe you money for the ideas that they stole from you. But so yeah, you hit preheat and it can heat it up, and it'll heat it up to the temperature you want because now it has PID, right? So and it's able to control it at that certain temperature, and it won't go up to 230 degrees Celsius. Let's double check to see if it works in Fahrenheit yet. Okay, so it works in Fahrenheit. It's not works in Celsius, and also works in freedom units. So 109 freedom units, and then but I actually like Celsius. Turn in here, you can do cooling of the beans on and off. That filter fan I think is the back fan. Is it? Yeah, I would plug it in, but I really don't care about that fan. So in their standby mode, back to stay by. This is what it initially used to say. It used to say stay by, and that's just to turn it off basically. And then there's auto mode. Right now we have it just at manual. So let's preheat. I promised someone I would do a roast on the V2 with the tablet. So we'll do that before we get into Artisan. Now let's get into Artisan. Fuck this tablet. Let's go get into Artisan and see what that looks like. Let me get my laptop. Shh. Damn, that was the secret for today. Not supposed to tell everybody yet. Well, even though I... Hold on, I'll be right back. Brought my laptop just in case this doesn't work on Artisan. There's a little bit of driver's issues with it, with one of my laptops, and it wouldn't connect. So, just to be safe, I brought my my little ThinkPad with me as well. Okay. So I'm gonna bring this to the side. So that's the top. The bottom part is the control panel. The bottom part, or the top part, is to the computer, and the bottom part is the control panel. So let's plug that in right there. So the white one is the... Oh, you know what? I better just use this cable. See, it's doing it on this one too. Let's see. Plug. No. Yeah, it's kind of wonky. It's the part I don't like about that top part control panel, because sometimes it doesn't connect unless it's like a specific laptop or computer, and I'm not sure why it does that, but it's going to be a problem. All right. We're going to go and do it the other way I was using. So there's been kind of like a weird issue where it's just not like connecting it to certain laptops and computers, and I'm not sure why. It's a simple USB 2.0 like connection, so I don't know. But for some reason, it works really well with the ThinkPad, so I'm not sure what's going on with that. Enter my secret password in. Oh, this is gonna suck. I'll kind of show you what to download. So let's go look at this. Let's go open up Google. I'll put the link up too. Let me close this screen off. We'll do window capture 2. Oh, okay. There it is. All right, so I'll look up Akimata. Actually, this works pretty Cubine. So you want to go to this website. And this is where you're going to download the A-log file for Artisan. I'll put that in Facebook too, or Facebook, YouTube. All right, so now let's go, we'll go to setup download. You want to download this thing. So Artisan settings, Skywalker series Delta. So download this. And then, so we'll open up Artisan on this side. Please. Okay, so go here, load settings, and then, you know, the file we just downloaded, so. All right, that's all set up. I'm gonna double check to see if I can connect to it. Hold on. I only have one USB-A to USB-A cable in my house. So let's see if it works. I highly doubt it's going to work, but we'll see. So go to port, and then basically look for the COM. Okay. All right. So as you can tell, it is not connecting. But luckily, there's another way of connecting Artisan to it, okay? So let's go to Artisan Bluetooth. We'll switch over that way, okay? So with Artisan Bluetooth, you go to the tablet, you hit settings, then you just hit Bluetooth on, okay? And then let's go back to the screen. So now let's go to, you know, your Bluetooth settings. And then add Bluetooth device. I'm gonna look for something called, oops. There we go. Ah, wrong one. Let's go back. So yeah, let's go ahead. Also with this one, I just went to Bluetooth. Bluetooth settings, and then add Bluetooth. Bluetooth. You're gonna look for AK roaster, right? Double click on that. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And you hit connect. It's ready to go. So if that's the case, you go to Artisan. And you should be able to hit, close this out. Tools, port, and I'll give you these extra comms right here. So I think 1 and 16 was here last time. Now you have 27 and 28. So try choosing 28. Hit OK, then on. So it turned on. I really didn't think I was gonna work, so I'm kind of excited that happened. So perfect. So now it's connected to Artisan. So this is the Artisan setup. So got your burner here. Let's take that away from 100, and then your drum setting, and then your air. And then SV, that's the set value. That means what temperature you want to set it at. Do you want to start the charge at 200? Or do you want to start maybe at 156? Do you want to preheat? Basically is what you're doing with SV. And then SV is also controlled by your PID logic in control. So you can change your KP, your KI, and your KD to whatever to fit the PID that you want to use. Because when you're using this, you're usually using it for a background roast. So you'll load up a roast that you've done before, and then you'll have it try its best to follow it. It's kind of like what a lot of people want is that auto roasting feature. Honestly, I don't think auto roasting feature is going to work just by following a PID, right? I mean, you probably should have other telemetry in there. Ambient temperatures are kind of a big issue. If it's a different ambient temperature in the house, then in your place, then you're not going to get the same kind of roast if we're all to try to follow the same kind of roast pattern. But people would like that auto kind of setup. But I feel like most high-end roasters with the legitimate auto roasting, they have differential pressure sensors. They have exhaust probe temps. They have PIDs that control intake fan. You're not going to get away following a roast completely the same if you're just using the PIDs to control the bulb. But if you want to auto roast, fuck it, just do it. I would say go ahead and do it. There's nothing wrong with it. If it tastes different, it tastes different. But I wouldn't say you'll get the same roast every single time, especially if you roast in December and then you try roasting in June with the same profile. It's probably going to be different. But that's just the nuances of roasting by auto roasting. It's what you should do. Not should, but what you can do is you could do it manually. And we'll kind of show you how you could do that with either Artisan or the control panel. So right now we're connected to Artisan. All that looks good. Trying to think of anything else. You got these little buttons if you want to turn the filter fan on. I don't have it on. Or you can turn the burner off, air off. And can we take a minute to just appreciate how loud this drum is? This drum motor. Let's compare it with the V1 real quick. Turn noise suppression on. Is it this yellow bit? You hear it now? It's green now, whatever I did. Alright, let's go ahead and we're going to go get the V1 controller. This is the control panel. Control panel off. So you tell me when you start hearing it, okay? Yeah, honestly, these newer units have a lot better, like, I think they have a lot better drum motors on the V1. Because this doesn't sound as bad as I remember it sounding. But you can tell that it's a little bit louder, right? That's not the huge issue with these V1 drum motors, is the fact that they have a plastic gear in them and they can melt. And another bad thing is they tend to die. But I don't know, maybe these new ones haven't. I think it's the noise suppression. Maybe on the Be louder. Justify my purchase. Oh yeah, for sure. The one from April. The earlier ones, those ones are freaking loud. So just off the bat, V2, V1. Biggest difference I really think is the price. And I honestly don't think it's worth the price, that $800 a unit. You know, I don't sell these units. I just do the group buys and I get them at a discounted price, but I don't know. I think the V1 is fine. If the auto roasting feature is something you really think you want, and probably a better drum motor, maybe look at the V2, but I feel like the V1 and the V2 are almost the same. Just a nice little facelift. And like honestly, let's just take it apart. Like, it's literally the same two screws that you access. So let me go put that camera back on. Because from the looks of the front, it kind of looks like a completely different unit, but it's the same freaking unit. You know what I mean? Like, let's open this one up. The bottoms are different, right? You could tell that the chute is a little bit less, like, going straight and the other one's diagonal. Like, you know what? I'm gonna do that. There you go. I have a V1. I have a sleeper unit V1. No, see if the holes will line up for sure. They 100% didn't change like the base of the unit from factory, I think. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, the bottom part. Those two things at the angle. Just because the way it's set up, it won't let you put the old face panel back on. That sucks. I really wanted to put the other one on. Actually, that worked. Oh, okay. It kind of fit. It's just not going to line up at the sides because of the bottom. Like, see, this part hits each other. But I think this one will fit just fine. Oh, okay. Yeah. So you can't switch the front panels. They're a little different. Mostly, although I'll show you where the differences lie. And it's nothing like functional or anything. Literally, this thing and can only be put on with this panel. And if you look at this one will only fit the Darth Vader panel. But there's also another interesting little thing. What are these screws here for? You know, I promised somebody I wasn't going to modify my machine. I don't think I am still. Oh, yeah, okay. So let's compare these two. We'll kick this side off. We'll take this side off. So the doors are different too. Let's look at the door. Square design, like a rectangle-ish, and then like a cutout design. But you move the door up. There's that hole where it should be, where it would have connected with the other unit. So there's those 1, 2, 3. And there's these holes on here, 1, 2, and 3. So main differences with V2 is, you know, just how they added all this the window. And you can get a bigger window, which is kind of nice, versus the circular one. And then the bottom pull-out handles. Those are usually, that looks like it would be the biggest differences. You could almost put the V1 plate on, but not quite. You would have to change this window, or this window to here, and that one to here. So, you know, of course I'm going to swap that out, because I do like the V1 design versus the V2 Cyber Roaster. Or Delta, or Alpha. Just the same old stupid names they've been coming up with. But, yeah, those are kind of the biggest difference. Let me put this back together. I need to do a roast them, right? Let's put this back. Let's put this side back. Dimensions, modifications. All right, let's put this heavy panel. This panel's a lot heavier than this one, so I guess that's where all the weight is, like what the other guy was talking about in his review when he was saying, "Oh, this feels sturdier, it feels heavier." They really just put a heavier ass door or module in the front, so. So basically the V1 and the V2, these chassis are pretty much the same. Just the face, the front panel face is the only thing that really is the big difference. In terms of like the case and the body and the structure of the whole thing. Okay, let's roast with the control panel. Okay, I'm gonna turn Artisan off. I wanna roast with this tablet we're paying for, right? Not really a tablet, just a touchscreen with like a controller in the back. Nothing to write home about. Let's take all the old beans out. Yeah, let's go warm up the drum. So I'm gonna go back. You can load profiles onto this too. I don't know how, but you can if that's something you want to do. But I'm just gonna go just manual. So let's preheat this bad boy. Let me turn off Bluetooth. Turns off everything off. We go to preheat. Let's start at 180. And this one, like I told you, it's the same thing. It goes back into the V1 just fine. That's because it's literally the same case. This does feel a lot sturdier than this one, and less flimsy. This one does feel like it has some sturdiness to it, so advantage, I guess, for V2. I do like this. A lot easier than grabbing from this one. You have to like grab underneath or put your hand in here. For the V1, like to open it, it goes into like that, or you gotta pull from underneath. This one has a nice little grip handle. Just pull from here. And it slides better too. Looks like they improved the molding on this bottom part for this roaster. It's truly, yeah, the cooling on this thing sucks. Like, you know, like it's not the greatest. It'll work, but if you're like roasting in the summertime, it's going to take longer than 5 minutes to cool down your beans 100%. Yeah, I noticed my beans were cooling off faster is because my garage was freezing cold and it was wintertime. But in the summer when I was roasting last year, I was like, God, good Lord. It took like 6-7 minutes to cool it off. I think they should. Just another discounted, because this thing is useless. It's nice to put your beans in and then just transfer it over, but other than that, it's... I get it with people who want just the all-in-one unit, and I think you could get by with using it, But I think you're better off modding it or just getting the external bean cooler. And then someone asked if the lamp is the same. It's the same lamp. The lamp that they had, I think honestly is will work fine, especially the first versions of V1. I think those lamps were great. They set off enough heat where if you put it to 100% with like 350 grams, it's gonna smoke that. It's gonna charcoal that some bitch. But you know, you're able to bring it down to maybe 80, 85%, and I think it works out well. It's a very strong lamp. Now, I don't know. There's a little bit of QC issues with the lamp right now, so I'm keeping an eye on that so I could further bitch at them, or just order my own lamps so I could be able to send lamps to people since I already showed them how to do the change. And the cool thing about this unit, our Skywalker unit, we have the ability to, because it's a common bulb, a common lamp, that you can go on like AliExpress or Alibaba and then find like a manufacturer who can make them. It just costs a lot of money because they're one-offs. But if you order in bulk, you can get them for a good price, and they're probably built with better quality. I guess that's telling me it's ready? Because I set it to 180. So it should turn off the bulb. That's the PID working. Okay, alright, alright. Can you stop? It's kind of high. Was that eject or inject? Inject. Eject. See? Oh, God damn this fucking tablet. Okay, 200? Ah, shit. Now we're just messing with the settings. Okay. Then you could do turning point. Oh, then yellow point, which I'm guessing is browning phase. So you have to do your own turning point? Alright. And then yellow point, first crack if you, second crack if you like it oily. Then eject. Start ejecting. That turns on the fan. Got it. Do you want to save the profile? Absolutely not. Okay. So that's how it goes, huh? Let's go to standby mode. Turn cooling off. Nope. No. Can we go back to preheat? Can I turn that fan off? Let me turn that fan off. I want to go back to back. There you go. I want to be cam. I want to go back to back. Alright, let's get the preheat temperature to, I don't know. Let's go 190. Okay, I get it now. Let's see what beans I got. I got make sure that's locked. Let's see. So I got some Tanzania honey process Mount Oledino. I'm gonna find shittier beans. Hold on. Okay. we're going to do the Costa Ricas. I guess it beeps at you once it reaches the exact temperature. I'm a huge fan of preheating it at the temperature for 5 minutes. And that's just a me thing. I'm basically copying what Rubase does when they preheat their units. They do a 5-minute preheat and it's usually good to go. All right, so let's put the beans in, I guess. This is 360 grams. I'm gonna see if it does auto or turning point on its own. You can 100% put the V2 motor into the V1. You would just need like a BLDC driver, which you get on Amazon. I think the motor probably costs like 20 bucks itself, and then the motor drivers are probably another 20 bucks. Motor control panel. So altogether, it might be like a $40 purchase to get it running manually without a connect to Arduino. But you can get it. Kind of similar to what we used to do with the initial worm drives. But now they're brushless, so... Oh shit, I need to pay attention. Turning point. But I'm going to open up the back, and then after this roast, we'll open the unit V2 up, and I'll show you what's inside, all right? I should check YouTube. Sorry, I'm doing this both on YouTube and Discord. So let me know if you have any questions. Oh, Jesus. Seen it already? Still green. They cap you at 80 for the jump for some reason. Not sure why. Still green. I just like checking. I know it's supposed to be like 150 C or whatever. It's always good to check your beans. I just realized I did not adjust the heat. I should do that. Oh my god, I didn't even do this either. I'm being a bad roaster right now. I didn't adjust my fan or the heater. Alright, so yellow point, I guess, is dry phase, right? This is going to be a really fast roast. I'm going to drop the heat down a lot. I want to take a minute just to go over this really annoying part of this stupid tablet. Red part, bean temperature. Yellow appears to be the heater, right? So that 100% goes down. Every time you go down, you can see it drop, right? So, can you tell me where ROR is at? Right there, bottom left. Sampled every 30 seconds. I have a fan up top. I'll turn it on eventually. I haven't set up my exhaust system. Yeah, but notice how there's no curve for ROR, so that's kind of why this tablet sucks. Cam, but I have the garage door open. I could breathe, Cam. I just have a fan of smelling my beans. But yeah, up here I'm supposed to put like my exhaust setup. I just haven't figured a way to route all the pipes. Also, the thing that kind of sucks, which I really like about Artisan, is like it shows you like your development time and just how much time you spent in different phases. You can put it on. Yeah, it's on right now. It's not the same. I'm kind of just choking it at this point. Well, now that I opened the garage door, I feel a lot less lightheaded. Yeah, I did get that wine out of the back. I kind of I'll show you. I had to move that a little ghetto hacked fan that they put in. I had to kind of move it a little bit. Oh, first crack. Oh, shit. I can hear it. This one's a lot harder. This bean is harder to hear. Okay, another complaint. I don't know how. I don't remember what time I hit first crack at, so. Oh well. I still hear it cracking. We'll call this extra light. Change not even light. I don't know. It'll probably be medium roast. Oh, okay. Automatic? That's fine. Oh, that's right, because I set the eject temp. Okay. It beeped. It beeped to tell me that it was ready. Because I put an eject temperature on. Or an eject. We'll save it. We'll save that profile. Expert level roasting right here. Look what I got. Hold on. Let me text my wife back. All right. Oh, let me close that off. There we go. They won't let me go. They won't let me drop the drum speed. So of course it's still gonna burn. It's definitely spinning faster than 55 RPM. Right now, I think what they measured it at was at 68 RPM, which literally equates to what they were doing for this unit, for the V1. I have no fucking clue why they kept the same RPMs, but yeah, we're still getting those little chunks. Fuck, it's still hot too. So that is my stock roast with the V2. I don't want to be mean. I mean, it's a good roaster. I feel bad because of all these roasters I'm about to send out, and I feel like I'm about to shit on this thing, but honestly, it feels like I'm roasting on a V1. But I know I have the ability to do auto roast. I simply just don't care about it. especially how the way Highbeam handles auto roasting. I kind of like that way better, and I think Cam can attest that Highbeam does a pretty good job not using PID and just copying exactly the same settings you had before. I think Cam's done like 6 back-to-back roasts using the repeat profile setting or whatever. It, fuck it. Let me turn this thing off. Let's go to standby mode or whatever. Jesus Christ. Fuck. Can you just turn off all the fans? So, one roast on the V2. It feels really similar to the V1. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it feels pretty similar. Maybe I'm just roasting the way I usually roast on the V1, so... Let's go a little bit deeper into this thing, right? So, this is what a V2 looks like opened up. We're going to go by piece, right? So, same old coffin. You know, we still got the same, I think, the biggest things you'll notice is this fan, which has been manufactured to spec to absolutely fit into this unit and roast like a pro, right? See? Just grab a 40 by a 40 20 and chop up the end so it could fit in here. That's neat. And then big things that'll stand out are the motor. If this looks familiar, is that hot? Actually, that's actually pretty cold. I'm pretty impressed. Oh wait, this the that's cold because it's not from this unit. But yeah, the whole point of the fan is to cool this off. If anybody knows anything about worm drive motors, which this is, worm drive motors run pretty hot, like super hot, which is why it overheats and why the ones I've tested failed. Also because they were brush motors, and this is a brushless motor, so with brushless motors, they run cooler and they're more efficient. So that's great for us, right? So yeah, we're back to worm drive motors, but with the brushless motor. Fantastic. You need like a ESC to drive it, and they have that all implemented into this new board of theirs. Take a closer look at the board. Same power supply. It's probably the exact same power supply. You could find these in dehumidifying units. So cool, right? They're still using the mass supplied one, which is fine. No big changes to the drum or to the exhaust motor. It's basically the same thing. I didn't see any differences. Another big thing that they implemented is this new fan that goes right in front of here, which is the heat sink of the thyristor or the SCR or whatever it's called, to cool this off. So it's nice that they added that in. They did a little laser panel, probably cut this part out to put the fan grill. Big changes on here is the double USB port. And then this thing right here, this is where, that's the Bluetooth module. That's what's communicating the TC4 protocol over Bluetooth. Is this thing? It's classic Bluetooth. It's not BLE, so that's different. Relays, probably about this, probably the same kind of relay they were using before. I don't expect too many changes with the board, but that's basically the bulk of the changes. It's still the same kind. It's exactly the same fans they use for the bean cooler. That's it. That's pretty much it, right? So the biggess improvements from the V2, if you could say that they're improvements, is the brushless drum motor now, because since it's brushless, it does a lot better than the brushed motor ones because of the efficiency and everything like that, better torque. It's mounted on here. And then they have this fan, whose sole purpose is to cool this off because they run hot. They run hot to the point where I think I killed my brushed one in probably under 2 months after doing 500 gram charges with it. So that's cool that they put a fan. It's the way that they implemented it, right? So this is like that, I don't know, maybe it's like the 30-20 fan. I don't know what size it is, but this fan is basically just how to cut the rib of the edge off of here, because this kind of gets in the way. I don't know why they just didn't change the mount over or flip it over. I don't understand why they had to install the drum like this and not flip the drum differently, or just make the mount different. But that's how they set it up. And now they have to cut this part of the fan, which I think is really kind of ghetto, to fit. So now it's cooled off. Cooling off the drum motor, connects to the 24 volt. Then everything else is pretty much the same. Oh, and they're really going to try to upsell you on this, what's this called? This is their environmental probe that's in the back. Your, I guess, air temperature within the chamber. So yet again, it's not a convection roaster by any means. This is a radiation roaster, infrared light. So the most of the heat is transferred, like, for what, 80% of the heat, I'm guessing, is transferred directly to the bean, the radiation. It's not convection. There might be a little bit of convection, but that's not the main driver of the roasting. The main driver of the roasting is the bulb. So what advantages would you have with having an environmental temperature probe? I guess you could argue to see if you are warming up at the same temperature. So maybe your chamber is now a uniform temperature. That's that's fine. You could say that. I just don't find it useful. Like, I feel like I'll just warm it up for 5 minutes and I'll be good to go, right? So I don't think that probe is that great. I think what would have been better is if they would have drilled a probe into here, and then you could see what the temperature differentiates when at the exhaust probe. And that's like a pretty popular place to put a probe in different units. I know Rubase, who does, and who's the big wigs of near infrared roasters, they have a bunch of telemetry. They still have like a chamber temp one, but they say they mostly rely on the exhaust temp and the bean temperature probes to do most of the roasting. So yeah, you can argue that this can help you warm up the unit and to make sure you're warming it at the same time. Maybe that helps with auto roasters, but I just feel that a 5-minute preheat once it reaches that temperature works for me. But they were trying to sell it as like a big thing, like, oh, it's way better. You're probably not going to use it that much. You might use it just to say, okay, my Air temp is now whatever degrees it is. I think I'm ready to roast. I think those are kind of like the biggest changes. So drum motor is the big change. The cooling, the little cooling CPU heatsink cooler is kind of new, and I don't know what else did they market. The tablet, I guess the tablet is new. That's it. So $800 for basically a really good. I will say I do like this this controller board, just because of the way it handles the TC4 protocol. It gives you a port at 3.3 voltage, and it just spits out over serial read or the 0, 97 degrees, 87 degrees being temperature, yada yada yada, vent heat temp or heat percentage, then vent percentage. Yeah, all the TC4 protocol stuff you need to roast with that protocol. And then if it doesn't work that way, you can use this, where it is literally a Bluetooth module that sends over the same thing. It just literally spits out TC4 protocol over Bluetooth. So if you wanted to, you could get a Bluetooth terminal app and you could spam read. It'll run the roaster, kind of like how any other roasting app or Highbeam app would do. So those are two. I think that's probably my favorite part, is just this board and the way it handles TC4 protocol. Because if you're all familiar with Kaleido, they have a version of the Kaleidos that uses Artisan. And the big difference between that unit and the other units is they add $200 to it. It's like if you were to go just from the tablet to the tablet and Artisan, they slap on another $200. What new thing did they do to put that into the roaster? Nothing. Each Kaleido roaster, the controller board uses the ESP32 in all of them. They just blocked it. So, you're literally paying $200 for something that it already has. They just won't give it to you. That's kind of the shitty thing about Kaleido. Great units, build quality is superb. I think it's a dick move on the controller board, to be honest with you. But yeah, if you ever have roasted with the Kaleido, they're really nice. I mean, the build quality is really nice. Everything feels like it's pretty up there. But I have one. I have an M2, and I feel like I have the same roast as my V1. I just don't have auto roasting, and I guess I'm not a huge fan of auto roasting. Hot top is pretty good too. If I had a chance to roast with a hot top, I would. But I think they've been in the market forever. But Kaleidos, they're good. They're good units. They just cost an arm and a leg. I got mine for $800. I think it normally retails for about 2 G's. Absolutely no fucking way I'm paying $2,000 for a roaster when I could get like a V1. Or if I could get a used Kaleido like I did, I'll do that every day. But I could get a V1 for what, $400, and it roasts pretty good. Exactly. 2K, you might as well start looking at gas. True. Or shoot, you might as well start looking at a bullet. I kind of like bullets. I know people are saying, they might not be great for light roast or whatever, but I don't know. I appreciate the technology and the stuff they put forward into it. IPTS looks pretty cool. Their induction way of having an iron drum. The way they do induction, I think that's kind of cool. It's just a cool all-around roaster. they have their own little roasting program, and you know they don't have to deal with the TC4 stuff and having to use Artisan. They just have their own little app and their own little like proprietary software. I don't know. I think it's neat what the Aleo bullets do. The only thing I don't like about him, of course, is I don't like the price, right? Because I know I'm not paying $4,000 for a roaster. But it's but it has cool options. I think that IBTS is kind of cool. Infrared beam temperature sensor. But yeah. So that's what that looks like. I gotta put this back together. Shove that in there. Let me see if there's any other questions. Okay. So one last thing we're going to do. Let's see if I can get it up and running. But let me know if you want to see anything on the unit. We'll be glad to show you. Drive. There's one last thing I need to do, but I don't think I installed it. I did not. All right. Let me just save something on my Google Drive. So, overall thoughts of the V2. It's good. I mean, it's still an $800 roaster. Price is kind of high for me. The group buy you get at least for $525, so I'm glad we were able to save a little bit of money on that. But you know, I'm not sure if the changes in the drum motor and the new board justifies the double the cost, right? But it does do things that a V1 can't, like pit tuning out the box or controlling your drum motor. I just don't think the way it controls the drum motor is not that great. It's still 68 RPM or whatever they want it set at 80%. And they could usually fix that, I think, if they just lower down the drum motor speed. But they cap it for some reason in Artisan. I'm not sure why. Not that shortcut. But yeah, everything else in there, case, bulb, the drum, fan filter, bean cooling fans are exactly the same. The trays are the same. Exhaust fan is the same. The NTC probes are pretty much the same. They didn't change those. They kept them. I'm pretty sure they bulk ordered those NTC probes. Perfect. All right. So the one I'm gonna stick to, I'm probably sticking with the V1s. That's just personal preference. I really like the way they run, in terms of price and the amount of shit you can do to it, and the amount of stuff that we ever done with it. Right? We've done a lot in this community. So let me go ahead. I'm gonna let's start this. Sorry, I'm trying to open up screen copy. What? I hate how this thing works really good one night and then it fucks up later. Alright, let me go set this thing up. Connect and verify ADB devices. There we go. So okay. What? More than one device on. Okay, good. There we go. All right. Sorry. Let's see if this works. So let's go delete this device. And then let me put this in the background. I gotta get a better setup. All right. All right. Add device. Let's plug this back in. Setting Bluetooth on. Oh, I probably need to disconnect. Bluetooth. AK roaster connected. Let's remove that device. Alright, so AK roaster is there. Let's hit AK roaster. And remember, the pin is always 1, 2, 3, 4. Cool. Hit complete. Let's see what happens here. Let's pray it works. Let's see, sometimes I might error out. Yikes. Let's see what happened here. Okay, that happened last time. Let's see. There we go. Cool. All right. Let's go to device. Start manual roast. Let's flip it around this way. So it's at 100%. Let's drop it down to... Okay, so we got the V2 running on this, just using Bluetooth over Android, alright? So we'll start the preheat. Got the beans in there still. I probably need to remove those. They're still fucking hot. God, forget it. So let's take this on a little inaugural run of the Highbeam on V2, okay? This will be one of many V2 Highbeam roasts. gonna drop that to 80. Let's drop it. Bring it up to 85. Trying to find a good spot. Okay, so for Highbeam to run, all you need is an Android tablet for V2, right? So all you need is an Android tablet, and you still need this tablet technically connected because you have to hit Bluetooth mode. This is probably the only time you'll really need it, so I'll just flip it around this way. And that will get Highbeam running. Oh, we probably want to clear this out. I don't think the PIDs work yet, though. Let's see. There's nothing wrong with like Artisan more. I like Artisan. I'll tell you, the first time I was running Artisan, I don't know what the shit I was doing, especially if I didn't have those profiles on there. Like people have uploaded, like the A-log files. Setting it up was kind of a pain. I don't think PIDs work. Yeah, there's definitely nothing wrong with Artisan. If you got a laptop and you have it hooked up and it works, just do it that way. But if you prefer to have your tablet or use your phone, or you don't want to use this tablet, I'll tell you one thing, this tablet sucks for the V2. The thing is, you can actually update it. Like, you can update the firmware on that tablet, and you can do your own thing. I actually bought the adapter for it. I think in the V2 channel, I put all the information about the tablet. But you can buy this little adapter that hooks up to the tablet, and you can upload your custom firmware. You can upload an ESP32 on it and probably make it a custom tablet. It's kind of a neat feature of it. So, you know, you just take all these back screws out. I'll show you what it looks like. Let me turn off the heater. So, this is the tablet that they use. Right? Let me close this off. I turned off the burner, so I have to worry about that. Oh, slowing down. I think my phone's doing okay. I'm not sure why it's so slow. Ooh. I'll switch to the other camera. Okay, so this right here, this is their tablet that they use. This is this thing, without its stupid case. I don't know if you can see that, but it's called like a. The full name is like a DMG 804. I'll put a link to it, but it's on the Discord. You can find a link to what it is, and there's already projects on it where you can add an ESP32 to control it, and put custom firmware on it. Next order of business probably is to figure out what commands this sends, and then updating this to where we have a custom firmware for it. So it'll cost about $13 to get the USB connector for this. They don't add it in to your order because they don't want you messing with this, but I can almost assure you that it's nothing complicated. No crazy encoding or decoding. Just simple, probably commands it sends back and forth to the roaster, just like they did with the first one. But yeah, you just hook up this little 10-pin cable to that USB unit, and then you can upload whatever firmware you want on there. Oh, let's get back to the Highbeam. Does that work plugged into the V1? No, it won't, because they use a different roasting. The little unit that we used to use for the V1, they use a completely different protocol when sending information back and forth. It's not those 6 or 7 boards, or 6 or 7 bits that is sent back and forth to each other. It's different now. There's something else to it. I gotta find my logic analyzer so I could look at it and then see what it is, because basically I'm pretty sure they're gonna be just as simple as it was before, and then we can add our own firmware to it, something better. Or we could set it up to where, because it does run off of ESP32, so we could just hook up the Highbeam V1 ESP32 to that tablet, and it should run it. Run commands back and forth. You could use it as an extra controller. But, more work to do, and I just don't know where I put my logic analyzer. I have one. I don't even know how the hell I'm going to use it. I'll probably have to ask, what's his name? Sloppy Josh. Or somebody. Or one of the Boron guys. I'm pretty sure they know. Oh, let's get back to the Highbeam. It's here. Let's close this off. Still lagging? Yeah, it's still lagging. I'm gonna do one more roast and then I gotta clean the house. Actually, yeah, I'll do one more roast. And then I gotta start packing up people's packages and sending them out to Home Depot to USPS. Or no, UPS. Alright, so Highbeam's all set up. That's all set up. I think we're good. Oh, the cooling fan doesn't work. So little bugs to work out still. Looks like the cooling fan doesn't work. Sorry, I'm trying to hear if the exhaust fan is working. Yeah, I can hear it wind up and wind down. Yeah, that's working. It's just the bean cooling fan. Yeah, that's not working. Well, we're just gonna run a roast and see how it goes. I wonder if I could do insert. Just joined about after learning about the Skywalker. Is this the V2? Yeah, this one I'm doing is the V2. I just got it recently. We're gonna do a roast on it, but I'm not paying attention. Alright, so this version of Highbeam is literally just sent to me last night. The main things are working, except for cooldown of the drum. Is that working? I can't hear it. Let me turn this off real quick. Okay, so it doesn't work on that, so let me get this back together. still detecting temperature? Interesting. Can I do both? Sorry, I'm playing with this right now. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out how to turn off this the bean cooling fan now. Now I can't turn it off. I can't turn these fans off at the bottom. Can't turn this off. It's killing me. Interesting. What if I just gotta pull the whole thing off? Hold on. this off. I can't turn the bean fan off. Oh, that's hilarious. Okay. So... Oh, I know I can do. Okay, let's see. Let's turn the Bluetooth back on. So... We'll go look through Artisan. In Artisan, you can find all the events that it has. So buttons. So bean cooling would be CLDN off. So let's do that. Bluetooth is on, device connected. Okay, all right, that works. So I got a debug mode on mine, but essentially what that does, so I can control it from here. I mean, it does work. I just don't know why it didn't work with that command. Because this works just fine. Put that in, that works. I wonder if I could do... PID... on? Nope. PID, is it maybe this one? PID on. Or is it PID? PID? Maybe you have to do PID SV 100. That doesn't do it. Or is it PID? Alright, this should all work under control panel. I just don't know how it utilizes the PID. Because traditionally, TC4 protocol is PID, SV, 100. So set value temperature, you put it in, hit enter. That's not working. What if I do OT? Fuck. OT 1. That works. OT1 100. That usually just turns on the lamp to 100%. And 50. Lights are flickering, so that works. So why is PID's not working? Am I doing something wrong? Maybe it's like PID lowercase on? No? Maybe it's PID SV. We'll say 100. Yeah, I don't know. Anyways. Let's go start a roast with this. Go to device, start manual roast. Let's bring the heater. Through the group buy channel earlier today, got the impression that another group I would start up assuming everything looked good to our queue. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I'm still thinking about that, especially with how everything's set up with the V2. I really think they could just sell the controller board as an upgrade instead of charging us $400 for a new brushless motor and a main board or controller board. I don't know. I don't think it's... I get who it's worth. I guess it's worth it for the people that don't want a mod. Like, if you don't want to open your machine up and do all that kind of stuff, then I think, and you got that kind of cash, you want to just toss like $800 at it and call it good, then I think you might be in a good spot. But for people that are inclined to doing their own modifying and everything, I really think that the V1 is probably maybe the better choice for you, especially if you want to save all that money. Because there's no way that the BLD stub, the brushless motor, and the new board, there's just no way that it's better than a V1. $400 better. But, you know, I mean, there's people out there roasting as a hobby that make, you know, $100 an hour. And they don't want to dick around with the roaster to fix it up. I could see that. The kind of mental math. Yeah, for just $400, you're getting a good ass deal. And our community already has like the mount you can literally just pick up at you know, I already CNC'd a bunch of these old mounts for for the worm drive. They're all about the same size and the same mounting pattern, so you could literally just get that and then just buy Amazon or go on AliExpress to get a brushless motor controller for maybe like $20. And then you can control it to that, you know, 55 RPM that you want. Custom PCBs, I like where our admin Wiga has his board at. And honestly, I think it's already TC. Okay, I'll tell you right now, it's already has a thermocouple on there, and right now I have ordered custom thermocouples and PT100s that are direct drop-ins to the V1 and V2. So yeah, V1 might be a little bit better. Because I think when you get to the point where you need to refresh it, so it would be a plug and play for our admin Wiga's board. Or if you set up a Max 3 1865 or Max 3 1855 to an Arduino or an ESP32, then you basically could do temperature that way. And we have the code for it, and I've done it before, and it's not too difficult. And you don't have to calculate NTC. Oh shit! You don't have to calculate like the raw temp and whatever, and then you have to filter it. Especially with the PT100, there won't be as many artifacting or whatever, or what's it called, noise. So you won't have to use like a filter on it as much as you'd have to on like on the NTC probe. And to an extent, to the thermocouple, I think has a little bit of noise issues. Apparently, PT100 has no noise issue, so
I don't know. But definitely got drop-in replacements for those. So for people who want to do it that way on their V1, they have options. But the thing is, like, the probe is gonna cost like $8. I think I paid about 7 for each. Yeah, probably like $8 altogether. Is it the same? And that's what I hear about thermocouples. Is that the same with PT100s? Because the speed of the thermocouples is nice when it comes to PID tuning your roaster. Because you want that, like, you want that speed and refresh rate and all that kind of stuff when it comes to PID tuning stuff. Yeah. And I think the way that it's set up, it's literally like they're pretty much neck and neck with each other when they're routed to and from the back of the back panel of the roaster. And I think with V1, there's a lot more you could do, especially with ESP32. So with ESP32, you could do this thing where it's called ESP Now, and you can make a standalone ESP32S3 connected with a thermocouple, and then it becomes like a standalone temperature measuring unit. You can do all these neat things with ESP Now. Alright, I'll shut up and I'm gonna go roast something. Where I put that Tanzania at? There it is. Alright, let's go and roast with this thing. Fuck it, let's just do 194. Okay, so I hit start preheating. I don't want to mess this up. And we'll drop these in. Hit charge. I think you can. Maybe not with the S3 Mini, but maybe like the bigger ones. Oh. Just realized it's not plotting the lines. I gotta tell Will that. That's kind of useless. I wonder why. So it looks like no, it's showing BT, but it's not showing everything else. I'm not sure why. So, as you can tell, more V2 work on Highbeam is in store. I don't even know how many minutes we're at. I'm guessing that's 2 minutes and 45 seconds. Will's on, so I'll talk to Will later. I should at Will. Will! So Will's the guy all behind the hard stuff for Highbeam. Yeah. Okay, another thing I like about V2, I think I like the window better on this thing. I can see a lot more beam. Yeah, I definitely can see a lot more beam with it. So now we're just roasting old school style. We're gonna use all our 5 senses. Smell. Ah, damn, that smells good. Sight. Still a little bit green. At the 5-minute mark. Go by temperature, see what the temperature is at. Still keeping it all old school. I'm gonna drop temperature here. I don't know what the ROR looks like, but I'm just gonna go ahead and drop it. We're at 169 at 6 minutes and 18 seconds. Oh. So in the first crack. So sight and smell. Smells good. Doesn't smell burnt at all. I'm going to turn the drum down. I can. So with Highbeam, you could turn the drum down a lot slower than it initially has it on here. Yeah. You could slow down the drum a lot slower on Highbeam than you can on the tablet for some reason. And on Artisan. Gotta hit try in. First crack. First crack's going on. Give it one more minute. Minute and 15 and then I'll drop it. Which reminds me I should probably get that set up. And then we're just going to drop it right now. Come on, CLDN on. It's just burning. Gotta be quick with it. Very roasty. Most of the functions work on it. But, so things that aren't working are, the graph wasn't working, and then, just things to remember, and then the bean cooling didn't work. Everything else seems to be working fine. Oh, and the PIDs. The PID stuff is not working. So none of the graph stuff seemed to work. Cooldown didn't work, and PID didn't work. But fans working okay, and then drum is working real good. You get it drum real slow. This is why we're testing. I'm gonna keep it in there. Those are kind of old beans. I'm not too worried about them. But I think that's gonna do it. I gotta get these packages in before UPS closes. So I'm gonna load up my car and head over to UPS and finish all the V2 shipments. And I had a few people drop out of the V2 thing, so I'll probably have some openings open. I'll tell you exactly how many in probably a few more days. I'm just waiting for like 5 more people to respond. But if you're interested in maybe getting a V2, I think they're going to be like, it's like $525 plus whatever shipping is, but yeah. Anyways, I'll have to head out. If you stayed long enough, thank you. And I'll talk with Will later about all the stuff that didn't work out. What we're still testing, all right? Anyways, thanks. and I'll try talking to anyone later.